Seltzer Kings
podcasts.
This episode is brought to you by Skinny Pop Popcorn. Perfectly popped, endlessly delicious. Oh, so light and crunchy. Skinny Pop Original Popcorn is the snack you've been searching for. Made with just 3 simple ingredients: popcorn kernels, sunflower oil, and salt. Snacking never felt or tasted so good. Perfectly popped, endlessly delicious. Give yourself permission to snack and pick up Skinny Pop Original Popcorn today.
You've seen us in your city or small town across the American West. You've ordered our delicious food from our happy employees. But now you're seeing it all in a new way. You're seeing it from behind the counter because you've just become part of the Doublemeat experience.
I'm part of it. I'm part of it.
I'm a part of it too.
This cow and this chicken don't know it yet, but they're destined to become part of it as well. So what happens when a cow and a chicken get together? Why, that's a Doublemeat medley. Let's take a look now at the process of harvesting these 2 special meats.
Holy crap.
Hello, boys, girls, and everybody else. Welcome to another episode of Boys Watching Buffy. We're just 2 boys watching every episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer for the first time, giving our review, our reactions. We're your hosts. I am Joe Welke.
I am Vance.
Today we're talking Season 6, Episode 12, titled Doublemeat Palace. Directed by Nick Mark, written by Jane Espenson. Original air date January 29th, 2002, to an audience of 5.57 million people.
I have to repeat, this is not an indictment on Jane Espenson.
Nope, not at all. Just my lack of pronunciation knowledge.
Wow, they got in your head, man. They got in your head.
I know. But before we get into the episode, everybody, we gotta do some Sloppy Joe shout out. Shout out. We gotta give a special Sloppy Joe shout out to Jesse. Jesse sent in an email. Oh my God. People still do that. We got an email for once. Every week I advertise our email address and no one emails us except for Jesse. Thanks, Jesse, for your 5-star rating.
Sloppy Joe, we have gotten emails before.
Okay, we've gotten emails. I stand corrected. Also want to give a special shout out to all of the people that had us as their #1 podcast on their Spotify Wrapped. Thanks so much. It's so cool seeing all of that. We really appreciate you all. There you
go. Sloppy Joe is he's sloppy. He's sloppy.
Yeah,
all right.
He is sloppy. But no, that was really cool to see all the Spotify Wrapped and everything. Like everybody riding with the boys. Appreciate it. And if we weren't your #1 podcast, step your shit up. Okay.
Yeah. Seriously.
Step it up.
Seriously.
I mean, go back, re-listen.
Because
put it on while you're sleeping.
We're not gonna step our shit up.
No.
To make ourselves #1. You have to do it.
Yeah. I mean, maybe we should do more 2-hour fucking podcasts to get everybody all those minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that was really cool. Thanks, everybody. It was nice to see that year-end wrap-up from Spotify. Other up top announcements. You know, we got a Patreon, patreon.com/Boys Watching Buffy, where we do Boys Watching Angel, where we do Joe's Fashion Report /Corner, where we do Boys Watching Movies, where we just a couple weeks ago did The Mummy. The Mummy, it's a hit. Brendan Fraser. A lot of good times there.
You always say Fraser with like a Z.
I think that's how you pronounce it.
I think it's Fraser. I don't know.
All right.
It's not spelled like Fraser.
There's no, I was going to say it's spelled like Fraser.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, whatever. We did The Mummy. It's a good time. I had a good time doing it.
Yeah.
Vance probably had a good time doing it.
I had a fine time.
Yeah.
It's the Mummy. What do you expect? It's the Mummy.
Join our Discord. We have a lot of fun chatter going on in there. And yeah, that's all for the shout outs and up top announcements. Should we get into Doublemeat Palace, Vance? You got anything?
Let's get into these dues because it's that time.
Yep. Let's crack it. Let's crack the dew energies. Oh, this is the first time I was able to open it with just my fingers. Holy crap.
Yeah, it's not that hard.
I know it's not. I don't know what it is. I think it's the sweat. The sweat builds up while I'm doing the Sloppy Joe shout outs, and then I can't handle it. Whatever, dude. Whatever, dude. Okay.
We should start out with the predictions that we got wrong.
Oh, I was very wrong about this. It was not a pro wrestling event at all.
And I took a swing and a miss that Oz would come back.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, there was so much recap at the top of this. I thought maybe.
I genuinely thought this was just going to be like a recap episode.
Yeah.
Where it's like Dawn is like telling somebody about all of her adventures. The anime does that all the time where they just have like a recap episode.
A clip
I was
show.
like, is that what this is going to be? This is going to be fucking just all recap? Because there's so much recap.
They could have done that for the last episode because we found out that the reason that the last episode was what it was because Sarah Michelle Gellar got a haircut. So that's why they came up with the invisibility plot because they couldn't find a wig that they liked. And so that episode's kind of like a out of nowhere episode, more or less.
Yeah. I mean, this one, what did you think about this one?
This one I thought did a better balance than the last episode of having something that's Sunnydale, Buffy-verse-esque tonally, but also dealing with the issues that are fully happening. Because I felt like last episode, it was like just brushing away some of the actual seriousness, and Buffy's character felt out of place, literally, because she wasn't there. But yeah, she was just like too goofy, but they wanted to deal with her like wanting to die, not wanting to die-ness. But she was so cartoony and not reacting the way I thought she would react in a situation. But here, this is exactly what Buffy would think. This harkens back to when her roommate was a demon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Something weird is happening, and Buffy's like, okay, something's weird. I got to stop it. I don't know.
Yeah, but she can't figure out exactly what's weird. She can't quite put her finger on it, but she knows something's up.
Yeah.
There are some wild fucking things in this episode, though, that I'm like, wait.
Oh, yeah. I have a huge question towards the end. Huge. Like, to the point where I can't wait for the Discord chatter about this.
Same. I think that we're simpatico on this. But let's get into this. The episode opens up with a recap of Spike and Buffy banging, their trip to the arcade where she fought the trio, Amy the rat being back recap, Willow and Amy doing all kinds of magic recap, Willow crashing a car with Dawn in it recap, Willow quitting magic, cold turkey recap, and then a lengthy discussion about Buffy's finances recap and what she's going to do with her life. It was like, is Giles coming back?
I know. I thought Giles was coming back.
No, just wanted to remind us all that Buffy's broke as fuck.
And I also just want to bring up, Angel doesn't do a recap to start its show.
Yeah, I don't think
Angel
it has
series does not do a
ever.
recap. And my gosh, there's so much that show needs to recap.
Yeah.
They're like major new characters.
They try to like recap stuff in the middle of the episode.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'd rather have that, I think, than this opening recap.
Yeah, this opening recap was very long.
Yeah.
Season 6 is the season of recaps.
Yeah.
We're in the recap era, everybody.
Recap era.
So the episode actually opens up with Xander, Willow, and Buffy talking about the trio, and Xander is surprised that there's villains, and that they are villains. And he's like, I don't know. I feel like the last time Jonathan acted up, we kind of put him in his place and he learned his lesson. Warren, I could totally see him being a villain, but I don't even know who that other third guy is. And I love that this is a recurring joke.
Yeah.
Such a good recurring joke, because that was my exact reaction when I saw him, and everybody's probably like, who the fuck is this guy?
If he didn't have Warren and Jonathan, he'd probably turn invisible.
Yeah, a real Marcy situation. But then Anya comments, she's like, oh, we better get Buffy down here. She's going to be late for her first day. And then Willow's talking about how like Buffy was going to beat up the trio and she was going to like beat them up, but then the trio all disappeared. But Buffy took a bunch of their stuff, and there's a bunch of, Eye of Newt and hog's feet and chicken feet. And oh my God, it's making my fucking mouth salivate. I can't fucking, oh my God, just talking about this magic stuff is making my skin itch.
What a weird angle that we found ourselves on.
Yep. And I know that people in Discord have been like, actually, magic has been kind of seen as drugs before, but not to this extent.
It is clearly drugs, though. Like, it is clearly a drug metaphor.
I kind of miss back when it used to be lesbian sex.
Yeah, I think it's everything. Magic, I mean, drugs are horny too, Yeah, I guess. I just think it's so interesting that she's now addicted to magic to the point where she can't use anymore. And it's like, I never wanted that. I liked her having magic. Yeah. Her magic just got OP. And now it's one of those things where it's like, it's nice to be able to have a drink on the weekend, but it sucks if you can't have it at all because you're an alcoholic. Just like a casual like glass of wine. And now she's at that point where she can't have that glass of wine. Yeah. Which in a show that's in Sunnydale, that's magic, that's basically a live action cartoon. Why I kind of want her to be able to do some magic. I also was thinking about this while watching the episode about how like I predicted that Willow was going to turn evil because she thought of Buffy as not being grateful. And there was going to be like a Buffy
leadership.
doesn't. Buffy's mad at her for bringing her back.
I think I might have preferred my version of what's going on to Willow being like this sad, like junkie addict.
Yeah, I would have liked more of a Willow versus Buffy season.
Yeah, but this is what we got. Willow salivating at just talking about the stuff that Buffy took from the trio. Hey, but then Anya makes some kind of weird argument about how demons are better than people because the trio are just doing evil to get money and they don't want to do any work. And demons, they actually do work and they get compensated for their work. And I was like, damn, even demons get compensated and Buffy can't get compensated.
I know. I was like, what were you were getting paid as a vengeance demon? Like, what?
Yeah. Who was, we've never seen that before, right?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know. But then
Buffy that line's basically to set up the whole premise of the episode, and it comes from the character that is the most like capitalistic in the show. So it's a more plot driven than go back. Yeah.
And Anya is talking. She's like, yeah, these villains, they suck. It's anti-American. It's anti-capitalist. They want all the reward and no work. And people that do that are fucking losers. And then Buffy shows up in her little Weenie Hut Jr. uniform.
Yeah.
And she's like, great. I'm glad that you said that, Anya, because I was starting to feel like a real tool in this outfit.
Yeah.
Nice reveal.
There's also a moment in this where Xander, when Anya's going on, Xander's like, yeah, I know it. Yep, capitalism, money. And then Willow goes, yep, and you'll have to deal with that for the rest of your life. And they cut to a close-up of Xander. He's like, oh my God. He's getting that cold feet. He's feeling it. That rest of his life thing.
So Then we have the intro song, and we come back, and Buffy's watching a training video at the Doublemeat Palace where she has been hired to work. And they're like, oh, Doublemeat, what does it mean? Oh, it means that our burgers are actually a hybrid of cow and chicken. And here's how they're made. And it's just this horrific slaughterhouse footage of apparently cows being mutilated and chickens being mutilated. They don't show it, but Buffy's watching it like, oh my God, no.
It's crazy how they're like, and we combine the chicken and the beef, and you hear like cows and chickens like squawking and like screaming. And then you see the sandwich later, and you're like, why do they need to be merged together?
Yeah, I have no idea.
I do like the sandwich design, and I do want to give a shout out for the star wipe used in the training video.
Yes. I mean, it was a great training video. They parodied it. They do great parodies in these shows, man.
Yes.
But then Buffy's boss shows up. It's a guy named Manny, and he's a fucking nerd. He's
the Seidler from Seinfeld. He's been in some other stuff too, but he's the
which version? Rick Moranis.
Yeah.
And he's standing there, and he's like, "Hey, Buffy, my name is Manny. I'm Manny the manager. Why do you want this job? Why do you want to be part of the Doublemeat Palace?" And Buffy's like, "Honestly, bro, I just want a job because I have bills to pay and I want money. And this is the quickest way I could get money. And other jobs, I would have to do a lengthy interview process, and I don't have time for that." And Manny kind of looks at her like, "What?" And Buffy's like, "Oh, no, I just want to be part of the Doublemeat experience." And Manny's like, "That's the right answer. There you go."
I'm with Buffy 100%.
Yeah.
90% of my jobs have been like, okay, I'm just here because I need the money. I have no identification to the company. No. Yeah.
Yes, dude.
Yeah.
Like anytime that I've worked for a company and they're like, "We're a family here," I'm like,
nope.
No.
Nope.
Nah, dude. We got arcade games that are, if I play it, I'm going to get in trouble. No, stop acting like this is something that it's not, dude.
Stop acting like it's not a job. Yeah.
It's so disgusting. Fucking hate the world. Anyway, so then Manny's introducing Buffy to her coworkers, and they're a bunch of weirdos that are like spaced out. The two of them that are introduced first, like they make it seem like they're in jail because the one guy, he looks a little shady. He's got a bunch of tattoos. He looks a little strung out. He's not wearing his Doublemeat Palace shirt, and he's just wearing like orange pants and a white t-shirt. So it just literally looks like he's in prison.
Yeah.
Nice visual there.
Mm-hmm.
And Buffy's like, "Oh, hey, nice to meet you." And they kind of ignore her. And Manny's talking to her, and she's like, "Hey, there's a lot of turnover here, so I wouldn't get too close to those two guys." And Manny's like, "And not me, though. I'm a lifer." And he points to a button on his shirt and says he's been there for 10 years. And I was just like, oh my God, is there anything sadder?
I can't believe you survived 10 years.
I know.
In Sunnydale.
Yeah. I can't believe this restaurant's been open for 10 years in Sunnydale.
When they show the exterior of it, it's definitely not the Sunnydale that we see. It's definitely they definitely filmed at a different location in LA. Like you look and you're like, wait, that's a major city. That's not a town. Yeah.
But Manny's showing Buffy around. He gives her a locker, and there's a bunch of stuff in it still. And Buffy's like, "You sure I can take that locker? It looks like somebody's stuff is in it." And they're like, "Oh, that's somebody else's, and they disappeared. So, you can either trash their stuff or you can take what you want." And Buffy's like, "This is not cool."
Buffy, you live in Sunnydale. This
right?
person could have died by any type of vampire. Why would you assume? People go missing every day.
I was going to say, I wouldn't be suspicious of whatever's going on in Doublemeat Palace. I would just be like, "Oh, that's somebody that got killed by a vampire."
Yep.
Wonder if that was Glory, one of her minions.
Yeah.
Those
all those people. Yeah.
But yeah, Manny's still showing Buffy around, and she's looking, and she sees it like, it seems like everybody's under a spell because they're all kind of walking in this like lifeless, listless way. Mm-hmm. And then Buffy starts to look at a person like slicing pieces of chicken. And Buffy kind of seems to start to go into a trance. And she's like, oh, okay. And then she snaps out of it because Manny's like, hey, here's a burger. You should try it. And Buffy's like, no, actually, I'm not that hungry. I had a big breakfast. And Manny's just looking at her like, fucking try the burger, dude. Buffy's like, okay.
She's like, what's in it?
And then she takes the smallest bite in the world. Like, if you look at
that burger's huge, though.
It's enormous. Like, she couldn't get her mouth around that.
Okay, so this sandwich is basically a combination of a Whopper and a Big Mac, but with the top meat being a burger patty and the bottom one being this thick slice of like deli meat chicken, like processed chicken, not like a chicken breast or even like trying to look like a chicken breast, like just a slice. But it's like at least like a half-inch thick. It's like a thick slice.
Yeah, and it's just mangled chicken parts all mashed together.
Yeah, which is all lunch meat, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like a interesting... I was thinking of the combo. And there's a place out here that has like pastrami on top of a burger. So that's like the closest I could think of having the actual burger patty. Maybe the KFC Double Down.
I get breakfast burgers where they have like an egg on top of a burger.
No, I'm talking about like with the deli meat thing.
Oh yeah.
Like a burger with like a lunch meat, like a burger patty with a lunch meat thing. That's the closest I've can come up with. But it's interesting. I like the design. The sandwich is huge.
Yeah. It's like I said, like Buffy cannot open her mouth wide enough and mash it down enough to get it into her mouth. But there's also some talk about like, you know, they say, and then there's this special ingredient. And Buffy's like, what's the special ingredient? And Manny's just like, it's a meat process. And Buffy's like, but what is it? And he's like, not at liberty to discuss with you, rookie.
Yeah. It's the meat process.
Yeah. So Buffy starts working. She's behind the counter, and the person training her is telling her to be afraid of Manny, basically. And you know, you shouldn't question Manny. Manny's in charge. He's king shit on Turd Island here. And Buffy's like, yeah, but like, why not? Like, I don't know. He's a little weird, right? And he's like, don't talk bad about Manny. But anyway, here's how to use the cashier. Some old lady at the counter is talking to Buffy, and she's ordering something. And the old lady at the counter is like, oh, nice to see a new worker here. Sometimes the workers here, you know, they disappear and you never see them again. She hopes that Buffy's going to be there a long time.
Yeah, this actress has been in a ton of things. She orders a coffee and a pie.
Yeah, cherry pie.
And
she's my cherry pie.
And it comes out to less than $2.
Yes.
And
those were the days.
My God. I was like, that is amazing.
Yeah, I think the total was $1.79.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God.
I was like, what is this, the 60s?
Dude, French fries out here, medium French fries is like $5.
It's like $4 for a coffee.
Yeah. Yeah, I was at Bob's Big Boy last night, and hot tea.
Yeah,
brag. Sit down restaurant out here.
One of those hot tea spots. One of those LA hot spots.
I don't know if the Bob's Big Boy are around anymore, like the country. There used to be, apparently.
I'm sure they're around the country if there's one out here.
But a hot tea was $3.69, and a soda was $3.99.
Insane.
Just, but yeah. Also, Manny also talks about how workers disappear, and they keep using these words very deliberately.
Yeah,
they disappear, and you never see them again. So that's what the old lady says to Buffy, and she's like, "Yeah." Buffy's like, "Well, I hope I'll be here for a while." And then the manager or the trainer is kind of like, all right, now that you got a hang of the cashier, the register, you should take the next order. And the next order is a whole family of like 4 or 5 people, and the guy just rattles off the order, and Buffy's like, I have no fucking idea how to do it.
Like, I like that. I didn't like before when he takes the pie and coffee order, and she's like, you push so many buttons. And he's like, there's pictures on the buttons. They make this like very easy.
Yeah.
I started worrying about Buffy's like in the workforce, like how smart Buffy is again.
Right?
Like, I was like, I've never worked in a fast food restaurant, and I do know if like a bunch of people come in and start rattling off, and it's your first day, it's no way you're hitting those buttons quick. But when she first saw it, she was like, I have no idea what's going on. I was like, it's a picture of a pie.
Yeah.
Press it.
It's a picture of a pie, and then underneath of it says pie.
Yeah. And there's a drink, and it says small, medium, large. Like, substitutions will throw you way off your game. But
now that's on the trainer for not having Buffy take the old lady's order.
That's what was like trainer for just bouncing.
Yeah.
Or not even standing by. Yeah.
After showing her how to use it once.
No, Buffy's like, oh, I don't know how to use it. He's like, it's easy. You can use it. Done.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it's fun.
Yeah, so then Buffy goes on her lunch break, and she's eating a double meat medley or whatever. And she goes back, and she's looking in the back freezer, and Manny sees her, and he slams the door, and he's like, hey, you shouldn't go in there. And Buffy's like, oh, okay. And then she's like, well, what's in those filing cabinets? And Manny's like, don't look in there either. Just like, what's up with all the secrecy, dude?
Yeah, we never find out what's in those filing cabinets. It's all just
probably Manny's nudie mags.
It's all just red herrings. His nudie mags like on the floor. I love the filing cabinet was in the kitchen with a lock on it.
Yeah, right?
Not in a back office, not downstairs.
But so then the Scoobs show up, and they're like, hey, Buffy, we're here to support you in your first job. And Buffy's like, well, this really isn't my first job. I've waitressed before.
Yeah, and I also was a really good construction worker until the trio fucked that up. So I should probably go back to the construction job, right, Xander?
Right, dude?
Like, I like that one.
I also like that Dawn is like, wait, you've waitressed before? When did you waitress? I was like, ooh, Monks, you slipped up there, buddy. Ooh, Monks, you didn't implant those memories into Dawn, did you?
You see a dead monk like pulling some levers, like, oh shit.
Mayday, mayday! We forgot to put in the summer in LA. We forgot to tell Dawn about Anne.
Yeah.
So then Buffy was like, oh, remember, Dawn? It was that one summer when I went to LA? And Dawn's like, oh, yeah. And the monks in the background are like, whew.
I do want to see an episode where we see the old stuff just with her in it. Like,
yeah,
I want to see when she comes back and they fight all the dead zombie people in that episode where she gets back. Where is Dawn in that scene? Like, I just
like where did Dawn think that Buffy
Buffy she would have known Buffy ran away. Yeah,
she abandoned her sister at that point, and her sister would have been like 12 at that point, 12 or 13.
Yeah, I would just love to see her like shoehorned into some scenes.
Yeah,
I don't think we're gonna get it because that would have been last season.
Yeah, I think they've moved on with the whole. They're like, Dawn's real, accept it.
Yeah, she's not even the key anymore.
Yeah, she's just a regular 1-year-old person.
Yep.
But so Buffy talks to the Scoobs, and she's like, I don't know, something's up with this place. Something feels wrong. The vibe is off here. And Willow is nervously like playing with straws because she's feeling the pangs.
The magic pangs.
Yeah. And Buffy's like, yeah, my manager's being really weird. He's a weird guy. And all the coworkers are kind of in a trance, and they're a little weird. And the Scoobs eventually see Manny, and they're like, yeah, you're right. That guy is kind of weird. And Xander's like, well, you know what? I like this place, and I'm going to have a double meat medley. And Anya's like, oh, Xander, you like this place so much. Maybe we should have Double Meat Palace cater our wedding day. And Buffy's like, what? And Dawn's like, really? And Anya's like, well, I thought
Dawn's
that we were
excited about it. Dawn's like,
oh,
you're
right,
going to have burgers?
Yeah.
Which is like, again, how old is she?
Right. But Anya's like, well, yeah, we were going to have a lot of stuff planned out. We are going to have Willow help plan out. But, she had to kick her magic habit. So that's fucking out the window. And Willow's like, Jesus, dude. Like, I have a problem. And Anya's like, sure, now I got a problem too. So thanks a lot.
Yeah.
But then Buffy returns and she gives Xander his food. And Xander's like, hell yeah. And he starts eating the food. And Buffy's like, yeah, I think there might be something up with this. Maybe there's a bunch of cat in the food. And Xander's like, there's a cat in the burger.
Xander does bring up that they're at a fast food restaurant. So the people acting the way they are is just the way people act in a fast food restaurant. Because he's worked these jobs before.
It is fair.
It's a real indictment on fast food.
Oh yeah, I mean this whole episode is.
My issue with it is it's an indictment on the people that work there more than the systematic.
Yes, and I was going to bring that up later.
Yeah, because it's about like the workers, man. Sucks to be you, but it's not like the actual corporate structure and the whole thing is fucked up. Like,
yeah, the whole premise of this episode is like, you don't want to be fucking working at fast food. You're a loser if you do that. Like,
you're better than this. Like,
you're better than this. And it's like,
if you see a fast food worker, just spit on them because they're nothing.
But like, I mean, damn, dude, it's like brutally dismissive and like rude to fast food workers.
Yeah, when it should be more about, and I think the company gets off real easy.
Yeah.
Real easy.
Yeah, I know that like we've seen some stuff that's anti-capitalist in Buffy before, but like this is more like, if you work in fast food, you're a fucking dipshit. Like, like where are you going with your life, idiot, loser? Yeah. And it's like, dude, that's not cool.
No, like just, oh man, once we did the like car factory model on fast food restaurants, it just really, I know they were able to make more burgers, more uniform, more flip things out quicker. But it just, it's like factory work, but in a restaurant.
Yeah. I don't know. Dude, and here's the thing. I love fast food, but I respect fast food workers. Like, it's not an easy job.
No, it's the hardest one. I love the hardest jobs that get paid the least. The least.
I know.
I just, I don't do fast food as much as I used to. But I do a lot more fast casual or whatever. Like,
yeah, Chipotle.
I do Chipotle more than I do Taco Bell. I will say that. But I don't do it that much.
I like Chipotle a lot. That's a good one. Yeah. Wait, what are your fast casual places?
I mean, just like regular places, like the place that we go to around LA, like that are more restaurants, but like not
like Shake Shack.
Yeah, I guess I'm using fast casual wrong. Just regular restaurants, I would say. I eat out. Okay, is what I should say. I do take out from places. A place like where
Bob's Big Boy.
The burger's not gonna be the same every time you get it from there. It's gonna look a little different. You know?
Yeah. Okay.
It's not on a timer.
Yeah. Yeah. But man, fast food in a pinch, oof, that's the good shit.
I don't know. Yeah, I think
sometimes
I only
just get cravings.
I don't get the cravings for it anymore. I think I get it though, like if you're on a road trip type thing, or
Yeah. All right. So Buffy eventually she's looking at some old lady that's working there with her, one of her coworkers, and that old lady is like in a trance. She is walking around. She's basically slobbering all over herself. She's just drooling.
Which I didn't get at the end.
Yeah.
I don't know why she's like that.
But Buffy's like, hey, this place is fucking, what a long day, huh? And the old lady's like, what? And Buffy's like, geez, lady, what's going on with you? And the lady's like, what? Doublemeat medley.
Well, Buffy wants to take a break because no one's there.
Yeah. And the lady's like, you shouldn't take a break, man. He's always watching. And Buffy's like, yeah, but there's nobody here. She's like, I wouldn't do that if I were you. And so Buffy turns around, and who's there but Spike? and Spike is there. And he's kind of flirting with Buffy, and he's like,
he has the reveal is he has the most confused look on his face. Mm-hmm. Gina's like, what about him? And they reveal that Spike is standing there, and he's looking up at the menu, and he asks, what's in the double meat nuggets? And it's and he looks so perplexed, and I just loved it. He looked like he had never been into a fast food restaurant in his life.
Yeah. And he's sitting there. He's like kind of slack-jawed too. Yeah. Just like, what the hell is going on here? And he's kind of flirting with Buffy, and Buffy's like, Spike, what are you doing here? You shouldn't be here. It's my place of work, Spike. And Spike's like, the fluorescent lights here, man, they make me look dead, huh? Wink, wink. And then he just kind of casually brings up to Buffy that she might be a demon.
Yeah, it's like most demons. He's like, most demons like fluorescent lights or something. And that's how it kind of spills into her being like, oh, maybe that's why you like it or something. She's like, I'm not a demon.
Yeah. And she's like, look, Spike. And she's not pissed about this really anymore. She's like very matter of fact. She's like, look, Spike, I don't know why you can hit me. Still haven't figured that out. It's like, you haven't explored it at all.
No, you should be looking in books yourself. Like, you should be doing homework and trying to figure out what's what. Or at least, you know what? Talk to Willow. Talk to the person that ripped you out of heaven.
Yeah. But he's like, I don't know, man. But I gotta tell you something, Buffy. You don't belong here. You're better than this. Look around you. All those people behind you, they're not. You are, though. You know why? You're a young, pretty blonde girl.
You're special, Buffy. So special.
Yeah. And she's like, Spike, I need the money. I've got bills to pay. I got to take care of Dawn. And Spike's like, baby, I can get you money. And I was like, whoa, what is this?
I was like, wait, you can? Because you don't seem like you have been. It's like...
I know. He would like do really stupid shit for money.
She was paying you.
Like Giles would show up with like $20 and he was like, hey, you got any information? Spike's like, I'll give you anything you want. Just give me another 20.
He's going to whore himself out for money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody you get from Spike, you're like, this is literally blood money.
Yeah. He just shows up with a bag of kittens for her.
Yeah.
You can't pay your rent in kittens?
Oh, you wanted real cash.
But Buffy's like, no, Spike, get lost. And Spike's like, all right, fine. I'm a customer, though, so you have to serve me. Well, yada, yada, yada.
But he finishes with, this place will kill you. Because everyone's just like, the ominousness of this.
Thick.
Yeah. Don't go in there. Don't check that. Secret is meat process. Like they are just laying. I'm like, I get it. Something's weird here. I've seen a Buffy episode before. I know it's not just going to be a normal job.
Yeah. But the coworker that was training Buffy on the cash register, I think his name's Gary. He goes out to the dumpster and he hears a growl in the trash. He's and he's like, hello, is anybody there? Who is it? And then a growl just runs up to him. You see the POV of whatever's growling. It just attacks Gary. That's the end of Gary.
It wasn't till the end of the episode that I remember that he says, oh, it's you. Is that something I can help you with or something? He says that before he gets attacked, which like lends that it's someone that he knows. So we're thinking, oh, former employee that went missing, maybe. Like, we're not thinking who it actually is, but yeah. One, I don't think that he would have gotten attacked the way he got attacked based off what we've seen.
Yeah, he would have recognized something was up based off of what we see.
Yeah, it would have been I don't think it would have been that process of he's like, and he's just like a werewolf attacked him. But maybe if only Oz was there.
He should have been. That
would have been a wild prediction to get right.
Yes. Oz jumps down from the roof.
Yes. That's it. He's the double meat palace wolf.
Yes, every establishment has a wolf mascot in Sunnydale.
The werewolves get paid to protect restaurants, yeah.
And they double as somebody else. Like Oz is the werewolf, and he's Oz. The espresso prompt wolf is Dracula.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, God. So Buffy goes to work. She's at the Doublemeat Palace the next day. And one of the creepy coworkers is like, I'm surprised you came back. And then Manny shows up and he's like, hey, Buffy, Gary's gone. He didn't show. He was supposed to open, but he's gone. So now you're manager, basically. He's like, now you're in charge of the cash register.
Well, he promotes her to the grill.
Oh, right. Yeah, she's on the grill.
But
Gary was the register guy.
Yeah, I didn't even think about it while I was watching it, but just hearing you say that now. Why is she promoted to grill when Gary was register?
I don't know.
And isn't register a promotion up? I guess she was still trainee, so I guess she didn't have anything. I guess maybe someone got promoted from grill to cash register. I don't know the hierarchy in a fast food restaurant.
I feel like a fast food restaurant, like maybe when you're training, probably like 50 cents an hour.
Yeah, unless you're working at In-N-Out. In-N-Out actually pays decent wages.
Word?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I feel like if you're training at a fast food restaurant, they probably show you like how all of the things operate and how everything works.
Oh, you're covering for people left and right, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Have you ever had to punch in at a job?
Yes, I have.
I've had to do that once. It's weird.
Yeah, it's like a weird, and they do it so perfectly in this episode, that ominous, like, chokom.
Yeah.
There's like a reverb on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to punch in like way back in the day when I worked like on a marina and a restaurant too, I think.
I had some like random office thing that I had to do that. Maybe it's just for a summer or something.
I remember there was a problem with people punching in coworkers, so they switched from like the card thing to like you had to put your fingerprint on. And I was like, God damn, dude.
No, the punching in for a friend was always. I mean, they'd even do that in that movie, the Guillermo del Toro movie with the fish man. She like punches her in. Yeah,
that fucking terrible movie. I still can't believe that won Best Picture.
Yeah,
The Shape of Water.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of that one either. But
I saw that when MoviePass was like, you can see free movies for $5 a month. And I was like, all right, I'll go see The Shape of Water. And I watched it. Now, as I watched it, I was like, all right, that was decently entertaining. And then it was like, this is the best picture. I was like, wait. Literally, like Octavia Spencer's character in that movie has like a whole scene of her being like, you fucked a fish man? Where's his dick at, girl? And I was like, this is the best. And Michael Shannon just like chewing on mints and shit. That movie fucking sucked.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan. I remember reading it. I read the script and I was like, I don't know if I like this. And then I watched the movie and I was like, it's exactly like the script. It just ends up with some weird, like, it throws racism and homophobia at the end of that movie out of nowhere. And that's the motivating factor for a character being like, I will help you with your fish monster. Because a guy I liked turned out to be a racist homophobe in the 30s or whatever.
I say it sucks. I don't think it sucked. I don't think it was like Best Picture.
I think I dislike the movie more than you dislike it, but you dislike it because it got the acclaim more.
Yes.
I disliked it just in general. The acclaim after that was matter of fact. But I
feel like it was a good, decent, like 6, 7 out of 10. You know? And then when it won Best Picture, I was like, really? This movie that I offhand saw on MoviePass just because I was like, I'm bored. I'm not doing anything.
I forget what it was up against. But I was afraid to even bring up that to reference punching in because I knew you were going to go on a tangent about the movie.
You fucked the fish man, girl.
I have used the
How's
deli
his
slicer.
dick work? And then the deaf or mute lady like motions with her hands how his dick worked. Get the fuck out of here, like, dude.
Man, right?
And then Octavia Spencer's like, man, white girls be crazy. It's like, no fucking way.
The reaction to her sleeping with a fish man is out of the Buffyverse.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
Oh, you fucked a werewolf? All right.
Yeah.
You fucked a vampire? Cool. Your fiance used to be a vengeance demon? All right.
But anyway.
Have you ever used a meat slicer before? Deli slicer?
I have not. I'm
have.
afraid to.
I have used it. They're fine.
Were you
They're pretty
afraid?
safe. No, they're pretty safe.
I've heard too many stories of people getting their fingers sliced.
Yeah.
Well, I think one of my uncles got his finger sliced using a meat slicing machine.
Well, because they have the metal thing that comes on the back of it, so it's like very, like it has its safeguards to it.
Yeah. Anyway, I have a bunch of weird fears like that.
I mean, I don't like using like a mandolin or like the cheese shredder thing. I was worried about that.
Wait, a mandolin?
Yeah, that's like
a
a
guitar?
No, I think a mandolin is like those things where they make those like potatoes. I think it's called the same thing, but it's like just like a blade thing that's larger that you slice things across, and it's like, yeah, a lot of restaurant injuries with that.
Every year I have to get SoCal Gas to come to my apartment to turn on my pilot light because I'm terrified to light my pilot light to turn on my heater. I have a gas heater.
Okay.
You have to turn on the gas and then like stick a lighter in there and turn it on in order to get your heat.
Yeah.
And I knew a kid from my high school that was like fucking around with some kind of heater thing that he had, and it exploded, and he got like burns on 95% of his skin, and he's blind now, and he's like missing legs. I'm like, I'm never fucking with.
So a guy comes over and just lights the match and puts it on and then walks away. It's like a 5-second ordeal.
Yep. And literally every time I tell him when he shows up, I go, this is going to be the easiest thing that you're going to do today, probably. I just need you to turn my pilot light on. And as he's doing it, I stand very far away.
Dude. Yeah. Okay.
But anyway, Buffy is getting shown how to work the grill, and it's the guy that looks like an ex-con, and he's kind of like, yeah, this is how you do it. You wait for the timer and you flip the burger. And when the timer, it's all automated. You barely need to do any thinking. It does the thinking for you. And Buffy's like, cool. Hey, by the way, what's the secret ingredient in this stuff? And the coworker's like, it's meat process. And Buffy's like, yeah, but what is that? And he's like, oh, it's meat process. What do you fucking want? And Buffy's like, but that makes no sense. And then he's like, well, it's time to flip the burgers. Let's get away from this subject. And Buffy's like, wait a second, are we going to get like greasy? And the guy's like, oh, you're going to get greasy. You're going to get it in your hair, on your clothes, on your eyelashes, in your ears. I went to fucking the doctor because I couldn't hear anymore. And he was looking in my ear. He goes, oh, it's because it's filled with grease. And Buffy's like, oh, God, this is horrendous. Then Manny shows up. He's like, hey, Buffy, guess what? You're working a double today. And Buffy's like, what? Working a double? Why is that? And Manny's like, because somebody also didn't show up. They disappeared and you're never going to hear from them again.
I think it was still Gary, which would be like, why would Gary be punching in early if he was working a double, working the next shift?
Right? If he was working the like night shift,
yeah.
Like he wouldn't be there that early, but whatever. So Xander gets a call from Buffy. He's at his apartment.
Can I say, whenever we cut away from the restaurant, it felt weird in this episode because we stayed in the restaurant the whole like first act and didn't bounce around. And I was like, oh, this is going to be interesting. We're going to like really, like, they were like, hey, Buffy.
A one location episode.
They were like, hey, Buffy, you weren't in the last episode because you were invisible because you got your hair cut. You're going to work in a fast food restaurant and we're going to stay there. So it was just weird when we cut to like Xander's apartment.
It does jarring. Also kind of like double as the Doublemeat Palace, doubling as a prison. Like Buffy can't escape because she's just stuck there. She's stuck there because it's like a prison. She's stuck there because she's a slave to the wage and she's got to pay her bills.
Well, yeah, when she comes back then after the first act break, she's like, oh, I feel like I haven't left, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It had that vibe.
Yeah. So,
why didn't she think the trio was behind this again?
Yeah, you know what? I don't know. Probably because they filmed these out of order.
they filmed this where they're like, oh, you found the trio, but they filmed the trio.
They say that in the last episode was filmed after because Buffy got a haircut, or like they put something together real quick?
Last episode, like she has a haircut this episode. Oh, okay. Yeah, unless they filmed this, and no, they would have had it would have been a week process. They would have filmed this in order. Right. Yeah.
So Xander gets a call from Buffy, and Buffy is telling him like, "Hey, I'm working late, so I don't know why he had to call her, or she had to call him. Is it to like look after Dawn or go on patrol or something?"
Yeah.
No.
Why didn't she call Willow?
No, Willow's recovering.
Also, she's taking care of Dawn, who's 15, that can't take care of herself. Right?
Yeah.
And she doesn't work.
True. Yeah. But Xander hangs up, and he turns around, and a vengeance demon named Halfrek shows up. And she's like, "Who dare you, man? I have come to strike vengeance on all men." And Anya comes out, and she's like, "Halfrek!" And then Halfrek is like, "Anyanka? Is that you?" And she's like, "Yeah, girl, hey, what's up?" And then they all start hugging and bonding. And like, "Oh my God, it must have been like 500 years since I've last seen you." And Xander is like, "Okay, I think I'm going to head out. I'm going to let you two girl bond and enjoy your company. This is weird because Halfrek is hideously ugly looking, and I'm going to step out." And Anya's like,
I'm surprised Xander's so freaked out. I would be more freaked out by the, oh my God, two girlfriends just met up after a long time and they're going to just be giddy and gossipy.
Yeah.
Then, oh, there's a demon in my house. Like, that's just so normal.
I feel like Xander would have recognized too once she said, "I'm a vengeance demon." Like, oh, whoa, hold up.
That would have been a cool
You one of
moment.
Anya's friends?
Yeah, that would have been a cool moment, yeah.
But Anya and Halfrek, they kind of have a bonding moment of like Anya being like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Like, I didn't mean to like call you here from the demon dimension, but it must have got the wires crossed or something. I just wanted to invite you to my wedding." And Halfrek is like, "You're getting married to that man over there? That man with the large upper arms?" And Anya's like, "Yeah." And Halfrek's like, "Okay."
Vengeance demons don't normally marry men.
Yeah.
And this was set up because at the restaurant, she talks about inviting guests to the wedding, and she mentions inviting demons.
The demon realm.
Yeah. Which is nice that she could still contact the demons. Anya's got a lot of stuff that we don't see.
I know. She's a very interesting character.
Yeah. Yeah,
that we don't really explore a lot.
Yeah.
But also, how did she not think that this is how this was going to go?
Well, I think she came early. She came early because she got the date wrong.
No, but you know what I mean? When we get to the later scenes, how did she think that like a vengeance demon? Like, I'm guessing that Anya's friends with a lot of vengeance demon, and she just expects them to support her decision to marry a man, the thing that vengeance demons seem to be like sworn enemies of.
We could talk about it when we get there.
Yeah. But we go back to the Doublemeat Palace, and Buffy's frying fries, and there's some the water that she's about to dunk the fries in.
The water that she's about to dunk
I don't know. I've never worked.
Do you know what fries are cooked in?
No.
You don't know
Oil?
how fries are. It's called fry. It's called fry. Do you know what frying is? The water that she's about to dip the fries in?
I don't know. They fucking talk about hot dog water.
You don't know that French fries are fried in grease? In oil?
No, I didn't.
What?
Sorry, Vance.
Wait, no. I'm sorry. I'm perplexed that you don't know what frying is.
I've never fried a thing in my life.
Have you never seen? You've had fried
I've seen
chicken
it, but
before.
I didn't know how it worked.
You've had fries.
Vance,
you worked at a burger place.
Vance, I didn't know how to make macaroni and cheese.
You worked at a burger place, though.
Yeah, front of house. They never showed me how to do any of this stuff.
You never went into the kitchen?
Yeah, but no one was ever like, hey, see this? This is
a fryer?
grease. I've never used a fryer before.
You've never seen it in other media?
I have, but no one in other media
thought it was water?
like...
You thought it was dirty water? They were dipping french fries in? And they came out crispy? You've boiled things before.
Explain a hot dog water.
Hot dogs don't come out. It's boiling. You've boiled things before. You are a grown man. This is Dawn level.
This is the loudest I think you've ever been on this podcast.
I can't believe you think their fries are made with water.
I couldn't come up with the word at the moment. I know it was like oil.
But you just said you didn't know what it was. If you just misspoke, I wouldn't care. But you're like, I don't know what it is. Dip the fries in the brown water and they come out crispy. You know when you soak things in water, they often come out crispy. What? Dude.
I'm sorry, Vance.
I'm just saying I don't know how you could go this far and not know.
Oh, no,
how things are fried.
I've never fried anything. I've never done it, man.
You don't have to have done. I haven't flown a plane and I know like certain things about it.
You don't know how to fucking fly a plane?
I know how to fly a plane more than you know how to make French fries. I bet you if I sat in the cockpit of a plane and you went into a kitchen with a pot of water and the potatoes, I bet you I get that plane moving faster than you get the fries frying.
I've never done it, dude. I had to have I never learned how to cook anything. Like my parents didn't show me how to cook.
No,
like,
that's no excuse. Those are no excuses.
When I was in my 20s, I had to have a girlfriend show me how to cook Kraft macaroni and cheese. I never learned any of this shit.
All right, now Don's starting to make sense.
Oh my god! Oh, my stomach hurts. So, yeah,
I just don't even know how you've made it through
So the French fry water is boiling. Well, explain what's in there, Vance.
It's oil. It's oil. Like Five Guys uses peanut oil. That's why you don't
Vance,
go there.
You're talking to the guy that said rat flakes. Are you expecting?
Yeah, I don't expect you to know what rats eat, but you're a person who's eaten multiple fries in their lifetime. Do you know how they make wings? They fry them.
Yeah, do they put them in the same water?
Oh, God.
I don't know, man. I've never seen it. I've never watched. Understood it. I never had to.
Explain hot dogs. What the fuck are you talking about?
It's hot dog water.
You've had boiled potatoes.
I don't think I have.
You've had cooked potato. Have you had a baked potato? Have you had a boiled potato? Have you had anything that was... I can't even...
Yeah, but I've never watched it get made. It just comes to me.
But you can't tell that one thing is different than another thing and wonder why?
No, I don't. Cooking's a mystery to me, Vance. I don't know how to do it.
All right, it's a deep fryer. I thought you would have at least heard of deep fryers. I fucking cook
all of my meals in the microwave. I crock pot chicken, and then I put steamed vegetables in the microwave, and then I eat cereal. That's all I fucking eat. And then I go to restaurants, and it might as well be magic what's going on in the back. I say, whip me up some French fries, and then they fucking bring them out. I don't ask questions. Hey, how did this get made? Is this oil? What's going on?
No, you don't have to ask.
Back there?
Everyone knows you fry. You don't know what frying is? That's crazy.
Thinking back about my job at a burger restaurant, we did have to talk about what kind of oils we had because people were allergic to peanut oils.
Yes, that's why I'm so. That's why I'm so fucking confused.
It slipped my mind.
It slipped your mind that you worked at a burger restaurant and had to talk about what oil the fries were in.
Yeah, I did.
All right. This is a 5-star podcast now.
Yeah, we do get a lot of reviews. Thanks, everybody. We're #1 Spotify Wrapped podcast for a lot of people.
If you ever want to feel good about yourself, just know that you know more about cooking than the world
absolutely.
in general.
And I admit that. I don't know how to do it.
You worked at a burger place, though.
Yes, but I didn't work in the kitchen.
People asked you about what oil the fries were in.
Yeah, that was fucking 10 years ago, dude.
You just forgot.
Yes. I forgot.
All right, let's move on. I can water.
Oh, God. So anyway, the guy is talking about, hey, he thinks that sometimes he's like, oh, yeah, it's bubbling, huh? I bet you there's a bunch of bugs that go into the French fry water. And Buffy's like, ew, so gross. And Buffy looks out the window and she sees Spike. And Spike walks by and he looks at Buffy and he's kind of like shaking his head like, you're still here. And then Buffy's like, I'm going on a break. And she goes out to the back of this fast food restaurant. And face to face, up against a wall, fucks Spike on her break. Now, I might not know a lot about French fry making, but there's no way that these two are actually fucking against this building.
It is.
It's got to be dry humping. This has got to be dry humping.
It is insane. Buffy has that look on her face like, I hate my life, but I'm just going to fuck anyway. And they're fucking by like the dumpsters where Gary died.
Yeah.
And if, again, I didn't work in a lot of restaurants, but I know everyone takes breaks and comes out, and it's a restaurant. People are going to walk around. It's not a secluded area.
Yes. Yeah, dude. And like, last time that they did this like up against the wall fucking, like Buffy had a long, we had a lot of debate about like how did Spike fuck her with that long skirt on.
Well, her legs aren't up. Her legs aren't up.
She's wearing pants though. Like there's no way that they could be fucking unless she was like turned around. But like
we have to admit we don't understand
fucking
vampire and whatever Buffy is physics.
Unless this is just dry humping. If this is just dry humping, fine.
If
but
it's dry humping, it's even weirder.
Yeah.
That, like, if they're just dry humping against the restaurant.
Against the Doublemeat Palace.
Good God. Hey, at least Buffy wasn't like, well, I'm not going to do this anymore. So I'll give it credit for that.
She has to have taken her pants completely off in order to accomplish this.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
She's just Winnie the Pooh-ing it in the back, dude.
Hey, Buffy, we're going to have to let you go because we caught you fucking a vampire against the building.
Security cameras, dude.
Yeah.
Security cameras. Manny's watching this very much like Maggie Walsh.
Yeah, I don't even know what they're really... I guess they're trying to say she's so depressed that she's going to fuck Spike. But she fucked Spike when she just wants to. So this isn't even like dude. I don't know what they're trying to say necessarily here. And her face has a look of like, I'm just over it all.
Yep. She's back like a couple episodes ago before she was like, I was afraid to die. Now she's back to being like, yeah, I welcome death.
Yeah. The ending of this episode really just doesn't. Yeah, we'll get to it. We'll get to it eventually once we find out more things about each other.
So they're fucking. We go over to the Summers home, and Amy shows up to Willow's room. And Amy's like, hey, Willow. And Willow's like reading some kind of book, and she's highlighting a bunch of stuff in the book. And Willow's like, oh, hey, Amy. Well, what are you doing here? And she's like, I'm here to just like pick up some stuff. And, I showed up, and Dawn's pretty pissed off at me. She is pissed off at me as she is mad at you as she is at me. And Willow's like, I don't know, but what are you what are you doing here? And Amy's like, I came to actually get my rat cage. Do you want that rat cage? And Willow's like, why the fuck do you want the rat cage? And Amy's like, I don't know. It was home for 3 years. I kind of want to take it. And Willow's like, sure, dude, take it. Sure.
Yeah.
And so Amy's like, so Willow, I heard that you're like not doing any magic anymore. You're quitting cold turkey. How's that going for you? And Willow's like, yeah, it's a little annoying, I have to go back to doing everything the slow way and shit takes forever, but like it's fine. But it'd be a lot easier with magic, and using magic was really cool and got done everything a lot faster. But you know what? I'm doing good. I'm doing fine. And Amy just kind of takes a step. She's about to walk out of the room and she goes, so this is going to be your life from now on? And Willow's like, yeah, what the fuck is that supposed to mean? What?
I mean,
I guess so.
You're just going to be a normie?
That's a really loaded and kind of rude question. And Amy's like, so you yourself can't do any magic, right? You aren't going to do any magic? And Willow's like, no, that's kind of the deal. Like, I'm quitting cold turkey. And then Amy goes, hey, Willow, happy birthday. Shamalama-dum-dum-da. And casts a spell on Willow to give Willow a little taste of the high that she used to get. And Willow stands up and her eyes are all black. And she's like, yo, what the fuck did you do to me? And Amy's like, a little present for you. And she gives her like a little wink and she leaves. And then Willow's like charged with electricity and she's like pulsating. And she's like, oh, wow, this is crazy. She touches something that's on like a nightstand and it like melts. And she's like, whoa, holy shit, dude. Tripping fucking balls again.
Yeah.
Not cool, Amy, not cool.
I think taking the rat cage would be like a nice reminder of Amy not to overuse magic.
Yeah. Yeah.
But at least she's not like drug addict, strung out anymore. She's got herself together somehow.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. Like the last time we saw her, she was wearing a, junkie hoodie.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, man. Just give me some sage, please.
She just needs some sage. Now she's like completely coherent.
Mm-hmm. So Willow's back. She's involuntarily using magic because Amy put her under some kind of rack spell, it seems like.
The birthday thing was weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's not her birthday.
Yeah, whatever.
And they bring it up like twice. And I was like, stop calling it a birthday present. Is that a witch thing?
Yeah.
Where's the Council of Witches? Where's the Council of Witches that got introduced last season?
Yeah, they should be putting these motherfuckers in like witch prison.
Yeah. That better show up.
Yeah, I doubt it will.
Let's see. I give the show credit because it doesn't let things linger unless Xander does it. unless one of the male characters like Giles kills someone, or Xander doesn't tell someone something, they normally bring stuff back up.
The Watchers work.
Yeah, we won't find out how Slayers are made or what Watchers are, but maybe we'll see witches. Maybe we'll see a witch council.
I hope so.
Behind the delivery trucks that keep your life stocked, thousands of employees at BP go to work every day. People bringing a new offshore production platform online. People making our refineries capable of more, like making renewable diesel from agricultural waste. People trading and shipping fuels to our customers. And people helping truckers fill up and get maintenance at our convenient locations. They're part of the more than 300,000 jobs BP supports across the country. Learn more at bp.com/investing in America.
So anyway, we go back to the Doublemeat Palace and Buffy's watching the meat grinder and she's watching the meat grind and she's like in a trance. And I was like, is this place like put people under a spell to just be like, yes, Doublemeat Palace, we are workers.
That's what it should be. If you were a demon and you could like hypnotize or put spells over things, buy a franchise, hypnotize the workers, which is basically what every fast food restaurant actually does anyway.
Yeah. I think that'd be too close to the premise of the Power Rangers movie with Ivan Ooze.
Oh, the original one, not the Bryan Cranston one?
Yeah, the original one.
Wow, I do not remember the Power Rangers movie.
Yeah, well, It's this.
Okay.
It's what we think that it would be. But
All right.
so Buffy's looking and she's looking at the meat just like kind of shit out of the little spout that it comes out of, and she bends down.
That is a meat grinder, Joe. It grinds meat.
I said it was a meat grinder.
I know. I just don't know if you know what burgers are. I just don't know what you know. I just don't know what you know.
Buffy doesn't know.
Yeah,
Buffy keeps asking what the ingredient is.
I'm just saying. You set the precedent.
Okay. I mean, it's fair. I don't know stuff about cooking.
I know. That's what I'm saying. That's why I was saying this is a meat grinder. This is how burgers are made and sausages.
So Buffy like kneels down and she's digging through the meat and she sees a human finger in there. And I was like, how did that not get grinded up?
Yeah. Also, why is it there when it gets to the end of the episode? It's like the most cheating mislead.
Yeah. So she goes up and she grabs it and she goes, Manny, what the fuck is this? There's a finger in the meat grinder. Is this what the secret ingredient is? And he lies to Buffy about what happened. He's like, I don't know. This must be some kind of prank. Did somebody like do this? What's going on with this? And Buffy's like, I think that you're killing people and putting them in the burgers. And I think that that's what the secret ingredient is. And she runs out and she starts slapping trays out of people's hands. And she's like, don't eat it. Don't eat it. It's human. It's human meat. You're eating human. Nice little freak out scene.
I love that the old lady comes out of the back and she's holding the cherry pie. She's like, what about the cherry pie? That is the perfect level of like Buffy versus humor.
Yeah.
And this was given off Soylent Green vibes, which is a old sci-fi movie with Charlton Heston, which famously has the end where it's like a futuristic world. Soylent Green is like this food product and that is delivered to people. And he finds out that Soylent Green is people. That's the whole line of it. He's like, Soylent Green is people. And then you cut to now, and there's a company called Soylent.
Yeah, I was going to say, isn't there a legit company called Soylent?
Yes.
Why would you do that?
Yes. Yes. That is weird. That is a weird marketing ploy. I know not a bunch of people, not a lot of people know Soylent Green probably anymore.
Yeah,
since
I
it was
never
like a
heard of
movie.
the
And
movie.
it's like a movie from like the 70s, right? So, it's old. But that line is like film classic. Soylent Green is people. It's on par with like Planet of the Apes. It was
another Charlton Heston, wasn't he?
Yeah. Another one where he's like, oh no, it was Earth all along kind of thing. Spoilers for these movies that I know you guys haven't watched yet that were.
Yeah, it's like that Twilight Zone episode too. To Serve Man.
Yeah.
To Serve Man. It's a cookbook.
Yeah.
Ah!
So
that episode freaked me out.
I just can't believe that there's a company called Soylent that does it.
Yeah.
And our sponsor for this episode is
totally not human.
Totally not human food. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a meat process.
It's a meat process. Trust the process. So Buffy's coworkers try to restrain her, and then she just starts Slayer strengthing, beating them up, and she's just like, get the fuck off of me. You're serving people. And then Manny goes up to her and he's like, hey, Buffy, you're fired. And Buffy's like, good. Going on unemployment.
So Buffy did all of that. They fired her and she just walked away.
Right.
Burn that place to the ground.
So then we go back to Halfrek, the vengeance demon, chatting with Anya about Xander. And the demon is now just incepting Anya with doubt about her choices to marry Xander. She's like, so like, you really like this guy. Like, what do you like about him? And Anya's like, well, he's really strong and he supports me and he, he's an independent thinker and like, not everything is great all the time, but it works. And the demon's like, not everything is great all the time, huh? And Anya's like, well, yeah, I mean, he like, sometimes he criticizes me and he thinks I'm a little too greedy with money. And he's always like, oh, why do you like money so much? And the demon's like, and you think that's good? And Anya's like, well, I mean, it's fine. Like, I'm not perfect, but, he's not perfect either. But, he helps me through some stuff. And the demon's like, don't you think that he should think that you're perfect? Perfect little princess? And Anya's like, Well,
there's a line where she's like, well, Anya goes, I'm not easy to love. And she goes, who told you you're not easy to love? And she's like, oh, when I say stuff in conversations, he like gets me. Oh, he corrects you?
Yeah.
And it's, even if she wasn't a demon, if she was just her girlfriend, it is so perfectly written. This, I think Marty Noxon had a little hand in this scene, you know?
Marty Nox.
Because this is so perfectly like women getting together and just like, not gonna say your boyfriend sucks, but I'm gonna make you try to figure out your boyfriend sucks. And I hate all men anyway, so why wouldn't I do this? You're a vengeance demon. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, and then like Anya even talks about like, well, sometimes he corrects me, and then the demon's like, so he thinks that he's better than you? And Anya's like, no, I don't. And then the demon just like sips her tea. She's like, interesting.
Right.
Interesting choice, Anyanka.
It's great. The way they're framed on the couch too.
Yep.
And she has some points, but we have seen Anya in situations where she just has no filter. And I'm sorry, Xander.
I would love, I hope that Halfrek comes back and sees Anya in one of those and she's like, hey, Anya, whoa.
Hey, Anya, did you forget what people are like? Because we are around them a lot as vengeance demons. Yeah.
So then we go to the magic box and Xander's playing, is it Go Fish with Dawn? He's playing cards with Dawn. And Buffy shows up and Buffy's like, hey guys, there's something wrong with Doublemeat Palace. And wait a minute, I called an emergency meeting and only you two showed up? And Xander's like, well, Willow's dealing with some magic stuff. She's dealing with some research shit about the trio or something. And Anya's talking to her demon gal pal, so they'll probably show up a little bit later. And Buffy's like, okay, well, guess what? I found a finger in the meat grinder at Doublemeat Palace. And Dawn's like, oh, so maybe that'll explain why you smell so weird and you know, like you're working fast food and everything smells horrendous. And right as Buffy's like, yep, I found this finger in the meat grinder. So I think that the secret ingredient at Doublemeat Palace is human meat. And just as she says that, Xander turns around, mouthful of burger.
Well,
he's like, he
finishes the burger that she brought there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, wait a minute. It's fucking human meat in here? It was a great little reveal. And it's a good Xander beat, I feel like.
Xander would have immediately vomited that up. Like just hearing that, I think he would have upchucked.
Yeah.
He's sick to his stomach, bro. But this is what I wrote in my notes. Buffy shows the severed finger to Dawn. That's probably something she's not supposed to see.
My, how far we've come. So then, after Xander has his little freak out, Buffy's like, you ate the burger? I brought that for testing, you idiot. And Xander's like, well, you didn't fucking tell me. How was I supposed to know? And how did I supposed to know that it's human meat? Last time we talked, you said it was cat meat. You're saying all this stuff, it's confusing me. And I don't know what the fuck to think anymore. So I'm just eating everything that tastes delicious.
It wasn't even your burger.
Right?
He's
you think that just
he's Shaggy from Scooby-Doo right now.
But then Willow shows up. She's all late and she's a little strung out. And she's a little like, whoa, hey, what's up, everybody? How's it going? Willow's here. And they're like, Willow, we wanted to do some testing on a burger because I think it's human meat in there. But Xander ate it. And then Dawn's like, don't you think we could get some like juicy fragments from the wrapper or something?
Some meat fragments on the wrappers. I love that they like, Willow, did you bring your chemistry set? Did you bring your food testing lab with you?
Yeah. But Willow's like, all right, cool. We're going to be doing some science. That's what I'm all about. I fucking love science. She grabs a pencil and it turns all noodly.
That's a
and
cool
she's like,
effect.
oh,
It's a cool
it was
effect.
pretty slick.
And I love the pencil thing because, you know, she floated pencils back in the day, back when she was just a novice witch.
Little throwback.
Mm-hmm.
But she picks it up and it turns into like a noodle and she puts it down. She's like, oh, fuck, I better not touch that shit. I better stop touching anything.
I thought that was going to be a bigger thing.
Me too.
I thought it just like can't touch anything at this point, you know?
Yeah, it seems like she can't stop. Like if she touches anything, like it just turns to noodles.
Yeah. Not fun magic. Not a fun magic spell to get. Not a good birthday gift.
But they're all like, we need to fucking see if this is all human. And you know what? If it's happening here, I bet it's happening across the nation. I bet the Doublemeat Palaces across California, they all do this. They all are in on this. So Willow, we need you to use science to analyze it. And Willow's like, right on. I'm going to use fucking science to analyze it. And then Dawn kind of notices. She's like, Willow is acting a little weird. And she goes over and she's like, hey, Willow, are you doing all right? And Willow's like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm just a little flustered because this whole revelation of, human meat, I'm a little freaked out, you know what I'm saying? And Dawn's like, okay, all right.
We're cool, right? Because last episode, I was really fine with you having magic stuff. I don't know what my character thinks about you right now because I slapped you 2 episodes ago, but and my arm is fine now because I guess it's been 6 weeks.
Let me smell your breath, Willow. You smell like magic, you son of a bitch. Have you been doing magic, Willow?
I think Anya's arm was in a cast longer when she got like shoved by Harmony's goons.
Facts.
Yeah.
But Buffy goes back to the Doublemeat Palace after hours and she's walking around. She's investigating. She's like trying to open up the like filing cabinet. She's looking around. She's going to open up the freezer, but she hears a little clattering going on. And she walks over. She's like, uh-oh, somebody else is in here. She walks over and she trips and she finds Manny's foot on the ground. Dun, dun, dun. It's not Manny, everybody. The guy's been acting weird the whole episode. He's a victim here.
I like that they established his shoes earlier so that they could have this and we know exactly who it is.
Yeah, Xander makes a comment. He does a little Joe's Fashion Report /corner. Like, look at this guy wearing saddle shoes. And I'm like, hey, buddy, saddle shoes are actually pretty rad in the right context. This context, not the right context. But I'll be talking about Xander on the Fashion Report /corner this episode.
that first scene.
Yep.
On the couch with the white socks.
Yep. You know exactly the scene. So, but yeah, Buffy finds Manny's foot with his little saddle shoe on. So then we go back to the magic box and Willow's trying to do something and she's really struggling without this magic. She's tripping balls when she's trying not to use magic in front of people, but she wants to use magic, but she can't. And she's just like in this weird between a rock and a hard place of not using magic. And then Dawn and Xander are having some kind of talk about, hey, my friend Janice, her sister's a lawyer. And Xander's like, great idea, Dawn. We could sue Doublemeat Palace for feeding me human meat. That's a great idea. We'll be rich. And Dawn's like, no, I'm saying like my friend Janice's sister's a lawyer and Buffy just got fired from Doublemeat Palace and kind of sucks for Buffy that she's never going to do anything big with her life, like, be a lawyer or a doctor or anything like that. And then Xander's like, dipshit, she's the slayer. She's the chosen one. She saves the world every single day.
And you every other day.
Yeah. And Dawn's like, yeah, but that ain't paying the bills, Xander. She's going to be stuck with crap jobs for the rest of her life. It's just like, fuck you, Dawn, dude. Fuck you.
It's the next part that is a real fuck you, Dawn moment. Do you remember that?
Go for it then.
Okay.
You go for it.
So
man.
Xander goes like, and because Dawn goes, oh, well, and I could be whatever I want, because I'm just a regular person. So then Xander goes, well, then you can be a lawyer and take care of your deadbeat sister. And she's like, ugh, as if. Like, she's all mad that she would have to take care of her sister. She should. Yeah, you wouldn't be alive.
Absolutely.
You wouldn't even be alive.
You wouldn't exist.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. You have to do a random job, and now you get to take care of your sister who was working at a fast food restaurant and dropped out of college for you.
Who literally sacrificed her life for you.
Yeah, sacrificed
and she's
her
like, ugh, I'm going to have to be a successful person to like take care of my deadbeat. And Xander says deadbeat sister like jokingly.
Yes.
Like he doesn't think that Buffy's a deadbeat.
Yeah, because Dawn is bringing up like, oh, she could only get minimum wage jobs. She's going to be such a loser and it sucks to be Buffy. It's like, you were just mad at her the other day because she didn't want to live. And now you're like, her life does suck. Oh, Dawn is all over the place, man.
Dude, I've narrowed down fuck the Scoobies to fuck Dawn. Like this episode particularly.
Well, this is a likability ranking. Dawn goes low on this one. Yeah,
Dawn's way down on this one.
Yeah.
I mean, that line was so unbelievable.
This whole scene is unnecessary.
Yeah.
Like the whole scene is like, it's just like a I don't know, like a time. Like, are we supposed to, do we really believe that Buffy's just going to have minimum wage jobs the rest of her life? Is that a big fear that we have for her?
Why? Let me get the claps going. Why can't the Watchers pay Buffy?
I don't.
Pay Buffy.
I don't know what they're doing. I don't know. Just say, hey, Giles, if you're going to go back over to merry old England, can you talk to the Watchers about sending me a check?
Yo, and they haven't assigned her a new... Like, the Watchers reinstated Buffy, reinstated Giles.
Well, I don't know if she ever joined. I guess if Giles got reinstated as a Watcher, he would be her Watcher. So she would then be rejoining, right?
Yeah, the Watchers abandoned Buffy.
I don't...
Like, completely.
I don't get the Watchers.
They suck, dude.
It's such an interesting thing because you have the secret organization, right?
Yes. Yeah.
You have the good Wolfram and Hart, the quote unquote good Wolfram and Hart from our Angel series.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't do, I don't know what they're doing. Like there's a Slayer. There's a Slayer roaming around Sunnydale that they're just, they should be spies. There should be like a guy that's just like keeping tabs on her.
Yeah.
Do they want her to die so they can get a new, and there's talk that if she dies, she died and there wasn't a new Slayer. So I don't know what.
Well, it's because the Slayer bloodline goes through Faith now.
Yeah, because that's been explained somehow.
Yeah.
I don't know where Slayers come from, and I don't know what the Watchers are doing. And maybe the show will reveal that later, but we're halfway through season 6.
You know, I always talk about I think about like when they have something where retroactively, like the writers of the show will be like, oh, well, it's because the Slayers. But if you don't explain it in the show, you fucked up. Like, you don't have to be like, oh, that's just like this mysterious part of the canon. Oh, it's like, no, dude, people have questions about that. And you fucking left it there hanging.
I just think it's weird that we're just this far in. And I don't know what type of magic I don't know what chooses the chosen one.
Mm-hmm.
Or why. And maybe that's one of those like, oh, you do a prequel and you explain it and you're like, God, I hate this.
Yeah.
But after 6 seasons, over 100 episodes, I feel like we can dive into a little bit.
And it'll just always blow my mind that like they have camps of children training to become Slayers. Because that's where Kendra came. Why not always choose from them? Like, why once Kendra died, you went with Faith, who is just some Boston wicked cool girl.
But how did they know?
Why would you do that?
But how was Kendra being trained to be a Slayer, and like they know that she was going to be one of the people picked?
Yeah, and like how do they know about? I mean, obviously there's societies that know about vampires.
Yeah.
But how do they know that a Slayer is a thing? Did a Watcher come and tell them
I think she was being pre-trained by a Watcher. But how did they know that she would be the next one? Are they just training random women and are like, oh, fuck. It picked the girl next to her. It picked the other girl in her class. I don't know. It leads to more questions than we currently have answers to. Maybe we'll find out. Maybe.
And Dawn is upset that Buffy's on. I mean, the entitlement of like, I'm gonna have to take care of my fucking bullshit sister who saves the world, killed herself to save my life.
Yeah.
Saves me thousands of times. Let's just say it, thousands.
Has been ripped from heaven.
Yep.
And your big worry is, I can do anything with my life. I could be a doctor or a lawyer or anything, but Buffy, she's got no future.
And let's be real. Dawn isn't going to be either of those things either.
No.
Dawn's a dipshit, dude.
Dawn is going to be dead in like 4 years.
Yeah, she should be. She shouldn't be alive now.
None of them are. None of them should be.
She's fake. That line, dude, like that was so...
I was like, you're not going to take care of your quote-unquote deadbeat sister when you're older? You're not going to pay her back for what she's doing? That she's actually now your parent?
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Yeah, well, you know, she's going to like reform a bond with her dad and be like, that's what she's going to do. That's what Dawn would do when she gets older. Get mad at Buffy and hang out with the dad.
Then turns out the dad's a demon. Have to call him, Buffy, Dad's a demon. Buffy has to slay her father.
Buffy's like, once I get off this double shift.
But anyway, so yeah, Buffy's going to have crap jobs the rest of her life. But then Willow interjects. She's like, I think I got it. And they're like, oh, what you got, Will? And she's looking through a microscope at little nerdlings of the hamburger meat. And she's like, well, I made a chemical solution that reacts to the proteins of human blood. And let's see what we got here. And Anya shows up. She's like, whoa, sorry, I'm late, everybody. I just got caught up talking to Halfrack. It's a real good time. And Xander's like, you and your demon friend have a good time? Is she gone now? And Anya's like, yeah. And Xander's like, can I ask you a question? Is that what you used to look like? Because holy shit, that was fucking disgusting. And Anya's like, I mean, yeah, but like, you don't always look the best. And Xander's like, yeah, but my skin isn't always like falling off my face.
It is a weird... They make Xander more of a jerk here where he's like, that's what you used to look like? Ugh, I'm grossed out by it. It's like, okay, like, he would be grossed out by it. Yeah. I don't know if he would bring this, I don't know why he would have to ask her that in that way to like shit on her, you know?
I feel like he would know that that's what she looked like, too.
Well, I don't think he would know because only person that ever saw her was Wish versus Giles.
Well, Cordelia saw her too.
Wish
versus... But I would feel... Original world Cordelia, when she made the wish, Anya turns around and she has the demon face.
Yeah, but Cordelia is in a whole different world right now.
Yeah, Cordelia is way different.
Yeah. But yeah, nobody in the show would have know what her face looks like unless they looked up in the book and saw one of those great Watcher drawings.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Watcher sketch either that had to demon.
Or fucking Anya probably would have told him, you know, like, hey, when I was a demon, I was scary.
She was a demon, dude. Like, what you've been banging her this long, and all of a sudden you're like, wait, what? You used to be a demon?
Hold up. You fucked a demon? What's her vagina like? Jesus. But Anya starts getting like a little annoyed with Xander because of his like dipshittery. But Willow discovers, she's like, hey, wait a minute. There's no reaction to this meat. It's not human, but let me look a little closer into this microscope. There's something weird going on here. And she zooms in. She's like, huh. Well, this is quite interesting. Cut the scene. We go over to Buffy walking around the Doublemeat Palace with Manny's foot in her hand. And then
I wrote that in my note. She's still carrying his foot. Why? Why? She's holding it like she's cradling it too. Like if she can find the rest of them, she can put it back on.
But she's walking around. She looks at the filing cabinet and she's like, oh my God, there's a scalp on the top of that filing cabinet.
Wait.
Well, she goes, she says there's a scalp, and then she grabs it, and she's like, wait a minute, no, it's a wig. And behind her comes the old lady, the cherry pie lady, and she's bald.
Yeah,
and she's like,
Buffy says wig lady. Buffy
yeah.
Wig lady. And the old lady's like, oh, is that what they call me?
Yeah.
I wrote her down as old pie lady in my notes.
Yeah, I think I have her written down as old lady with the cherry pie.
Okay. Well, you say it that way, it sounds a little more salacious.
Yeah. So she's like, oh dear, is that what they call me? And Buffy's like, what are you doing here? And then a giant snake-like thing comes popping out of the top of her head.
I love the design, and I love that when it pops out, it makes her eyes go away. Because the demon's eyes are like its actual eyes in the head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool that they use this effect.
Yeah. It's like kind of vaguely alien, like the alien from Aliens, Xenomorph.
You know what it has? It has the Beetlejuice snake head thing vibe to it too, a little bit. Yeah.
So that snake like spits a venomous poison at Buffy, and the poison like paralyzes Buffy.
I had to go back to the scene because I missed that it sprayed because it's so quick. That edit is so quick. Because something happens later, and I was like, wait, what?
I had to do the same thing.
Because I went back, and I was like, oh, she did get sprayed. Because at first, it's like, it pops out, it looks at her, Buffy screams, it goes back to the lady, and then I was like, okay. I just thought it was like Medusa powers almost, where it just like looks at you and you're paralyzed. I didn't realize it Jurassic Park spit venom at her.
Oh my God. Don't get me started on that dinosaur. Don't get me started on that dinosaur.
Least favorite or most favorite dinosaur? That's all you get to say. No more than that.
One of the least favorites.
Okay, got it. All right, moving on.
If you want to hear about that, ask me about it on Discord. You want to hear my opinion of that fucking spitty dinosaur. So anyway, this spit starts to paralyze Buffy, and she's trying to escape, but she's struggling. And the old lady's like, "Oh yes, that poison, it starts to paralyze you from the bottom up, so your legs will stop working, and it slowly goes all the way up until you're fully paralyzed, and then I get to feast." So then Willow shows up, and she is like trying to get...
She showed up by herself. Xander didn't want to come?
Dude.
These episodes just keep ending with Willow and Buffy together.
Mm-hmm.
I want them at odds. I do want them at odds. I hate that they're like friends now.
Same. There should be some animosity.
They're so good at being mad at each other, and it's just a waste that we don't get to see them like angry with each other.
Yes. So Willow shows up. She's trying to get in. All the doors are locked. She's like, I can't get in. Meanwhile, Buffy's trying to hide from the old lady. And Willow goes up to the drive-through window, and she's like, Buffy, you in there? Well, guess what? I figured something out. The meat at Doublemeat Palace isn't meat. It's actually processed vegetables.
Gross. That's so fucking gross, dude. That's so gross.
In hindsight, Doublemeat Palace is probably the most healthy fast food.
Those processed burgers aren't that much healthier. They're just less meat.
But we literally see a meat grinder.
Yeah, I mean, they still use meat grind. They still grind up stuff for that. Well, we'll talk about when
processed
the last
vegetables.
Thing. But this is an episode for Tofu Lover, our Discord user.
But she's like, it's not meat, it's processed vegetables. Isn't that something? Meanwhile, Buffy's like trying to hide from this old lady snake.
Why is the drive-through speaker working?
Exactly.
I mean, it's fine. It's fine it's a little minor nitpick, but it's no way this place is closed, but it's working one-sided.
But also, the drive-through speaker, like, it radiates through the entire restaurant. I mean,
you know when you go into a restaurant and you just keep hearing people's orders?
That'd be so horrible.
Yeah, they were headsets for a reason.
Yeah. But then Willow starts to be like, but Buffy, I got something to confess to you. Amy showed up earlier and she put me under a spell. And she put me, I didn't want to do magic. I swear, I didn't want to do it. But Amy just forced magic onto me. I swear, I'm having a real rough time now, Buffy. Buffy's like underneath the table, like Jurassic Park style with the raptors. Yeah. And she's just like, shut the fuck up, dude. I could care less.
She's like, it'd be funny if she was trying to get to the mic and be like, it's kind of like when I was having a rough day and I fucked Spike against the restaurant. We're both having bad days.
I can relate wholeheartedly to your addiction problems, Willow. We are one and the same.
Why haven't we switched bodies yet?
Yeah. So eventually the old lady finds Buffy and the snake just starts chomping down on her shoulder. And then all of a sudden, Willow is just able to come into the restaurant.
What made her decide to speak through the speaker and then go, you know what? Now that I confess my sins, now I can go inside?
How did she get in?
Yeah. What made her go, I need to get inside now? It's going to
be like, there was a back door and she can get in through the back door and they didn't lock up the back door.
It's not even like Buffy screams when her shoulder gets bit and Willow goes, I have to get in there now.
Yeah, she's just in there.
Yeah.
She didn't even get confirmation that Buffy was in there after she
heard a
confessed her whole thing.
She's like, I heard something, but it's a restaurant at night, so it could be anything.
Oh, yeah, I guess she did hear some like pots and pans clattering.
Yeah.
Whatever. So
but
she
that was like
in.
that was her signal to speak through the talk about. I don't know.
What if it wasn't Buffy in there? It's just like Manny in there.
Well, at that point,
when listening to Willow,
well,
just like what?
Well, at that point, she just thinks it's a vegetable meat processing, so nothing weird is happening there except for the finger thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
But Willow just shows up in the nick of time as the snake is biting Buffy's shoulder, and she just slices off the snake's head.
Well, the snake thing spins around, spits at her. Somehow Willow, in her magic, withdrawal, trouble, non-athletic way, is able to like quickly sidestep it. It goes off screen.
She's got Willow sense, spider sense.
And I was like, oh, she clearly missed. But then the old lady turns back and just goes back to eating. And I was like, oh, is that it? You're not worried about the person behind you?
No, I guess not.
I didn't realize she thought she had hit her with a paralyzing spray.
Yeah, this is a situation where you double tap. Like, even if you're not sure. Like, Buffy's already paralyzed.
Yeah.
Just go after Willow, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those, like, this is the end of the episode. The bad guy's going to get dispatched really quickly.
Yeah. So Willow chops off the snake head. And the snake head, Willow throws it in the meat grinder. And Willow's like, whew. Done with that. But then the snake head pops up out of the meat grinder and Willow's like, ah, no. Then she turns on the meat grinder and it gets all diced up and gooey and put into the meat slop catcher.
Which goes like straight to the floor.
Yeah. There's like a drain at the bottom of the floor.
Yeah. Cleaning that out would be a whole day's work.
Yeah.
Whole day.
But that's the end of the old wig lady. So the next day,
I like that. I like her as a monster of a week.
I did too. Yeah. She's a contender. She's up there for.
It's gonna be Well, recap episode.
Fun. Yeah, I like when it's old ladies. It's funny.
No one strangled this one.
Yeah. So anyway, it's the next day at the Summers house, and Amy shows up, and she knocks on the door, and Willow answers, and Willow's like, Amy, you're not welcome here. And Amy's like, what? You didn't like my birthday present?
Like, what is happening?
And Willow's like, no, I didn't. I can't spend time with you anymore. And Amy's like, what the fuck? Why? I thought we were chill. I thought we were cool. And Willow's like, because what you did was wrong. You forced magic onto me. and I didn't want to do it. And you knew I was trying to quit cold turkey, and I can't be doing that. And Amy's like, yeah, but you had fun though, right? And Willow's like, I didn't ask for this. I didn't want it. And Amy's like, I don't hear that you didn't have fun. And Willow's like, okay, yeah, I had a little bit of fun, but I can't be doing this. And Amy, this is probably where you take issue with a lot of this. Amy was like, must be cool. It kind of probably reminded you of all the fun that you were having while I was a rat for 3 years and you didn't bother to try to turn me back into a human, huh? And then Willow's like, Amy, stay away, and then shuts the door on her.
Yeah, it's like, oh, for failing to turn me back from a rat. And there's like, man, Amy the rat really goes into negging Willow hard.
I know, dude. Also, the point that you bring up constantly, Amy turned herself into a rat.
Yes. Amy turned herself into a rat to escape being burned at the stake.
And she left Buffy and Willow there high and dry.
Yes. They never
quite
mentioned
literally.
That. Yes. Like, it was dry. It was definitely dry in there. And then Willow does a classic, hey, if you're my friend, stay away. And if you're not my friend, stay away. Because Willow's a threat. Willow's a threat. But Amy has a look like, bitch, you want to play magic games? We're going to play magic games.
It did kind of remind me of when Willow says to Giles, yeah, you're right, I am powerful, so don't piss me off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, Willow.
Willow's going to go, when Willow goes off the wagon with that magic shit, it's going to get wild.
I mean, Amy should realize that, because when she brings her to Rax is like, oh, fuck you, Amy. This one's got some real power over here.
Even when they came back after the bronze thing, it was like, oh my God, she was doing like interdimensional stuff. Like, I thought I was powerful, but this girl, she's been a human for 3 years. Longer than me.
She's doing spells I never even fucking thought were possible.
Yeah. And I just don't get Amy's obsession with Willow at this point. It's not like they were like the closest friends before she was a rat. I mean, granted, she probably doesn't have other people to talk to, but like, she knew Rat. I'm sure there's a whole subculture of other random witch people in Sunnydale.
Totally. I mean, Willow had that witch meetup group at the college.
Yeah, but
that's
they were
how she
all
met
fake
Tara.
Witches. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Amy apparently has her own place too. Now she's like, oh, I need to buy a detergent. I don't have stuff at my place. I'm like, wait, so you got a place in the 6 weeks?
She got a place
that's not living with your dad? Like, you're not staying at home?
And she thinks that she can just show up after drugging Willow and be like, yo, can I get some detergent? What? Detergent's like, back then, probably like $1.50.
You know what was really weird is that the scene starts with Amy walking up to the house, like on the street. It's not even like just a doorbell. It's like we follow her up. And it was like, wait, why? Why are we?
No.
I don't know why we watched it from that far. Was it like supposed to be like a threat? Like, oh, she's coming back to get her magic back or something? I don't know.
Yeah. But as soon as she was like, oh, yeah, you really weren't trying to like turn me back from being a rat, I was like, Vance is going to be so pissed at her saying that because she turned herself into a rat.
Well, that didn't bother me as much. It's just like, granted, I wasn't thinking about that in this scene. It was more the fact that she just keeps negging Willow to like, come on, Willow, I know you want to taste this magic. It's like, why? What is it in it for you?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, she's already more powerful than you. It's like, what are you trying to get at?
Do you want a magic friend? It seems like you have your own stuff going on. But I do like that we haven't gotten rid of it completely, that Amy will be a problem.
Yeah, I thought that she wasn't ever going to show up again.
Well, I knew she had to show back up, but it was weird when she was a junkie. And I was like, well, I guess she's gone on the deep end,
Yeah. We see her like in an alley, one of those dark alleys. Willow trips over her.
She's just dead off of magic. And they're like, they have to investigate. She calls Riley in, and then we get the magic investigators.
Yeah. So, yeah, Willow tells Amy to stay away. So then we have Buffy returning to the Doublemeat Palace. And she's like, got a new manager.
The place
she's
is
returning
functional.
her uniform. Yeah. There's customers in the Doublemeat Palace. New manager. Buffy's like, here, I thought I should return my uniform. And the manager's like, oh, that's better than most people. Most people just go away and you never hear from them again and they disappear. And Buffy's like, yeah, I guess I wanted to be better than those people, but yeah, anyway. It sucks that I don't have this job anymore. And the manager's like, yeah, you had a kind of an outburst. I thought it was like a prank gone wrong, but like, that's not a good prank. And Buffy's like, yeah.
They thought that was a prank. That's a mental breakdown. She went, what's the term for if you go postal at a fast food restaurant?
Yeah. So Buffy is like about to walk away and she turns around to the manager and she's like, so the Doublemeat medley, the secret ingredient, it's vegetables? There's no meat? And then the manager looks all terrified. And she's like, Buffy, close the door and come sit down. And Buffy's like, oh, okay. So she closes the door, she goes, she walks and she sits down. And the manager's like, hey, dude, that's a big fucking secret, okay? And we can't have you telling people about that secret. We can't have that secret get out. And Buffy's like, don't worry, like it's fine. I won't be telling anybody, but actually, this is a secret, huh? It's probably a pretty valuable secret, right? And the manager's like, what do you want? And Buffy's like, honestly, I just want my job at the Doublemeat Palace back. Please let me have my job back. I got bills to pay. And the manager's like, all right, I think we can work something out. You're hired again. And Buffy's like, thank God. And thus the episode ends. And Buffy missed a golden opportunity to extort this person.
That was my big takeaway, but my bigger takeaway in this scene is, what the fuck did they do with Manny's body?
Yep.
So when Lorraine, the manager, is like, Manny disappeared. People keep disappearing. And Buffy's like, yeah, that's weird. What did they do? What did they do? Did they clean out that demon junk? Did they stay there all night scrubbing the demon junk out? Did they take Manny's body parts and walk away? And like, what did they do with the foot?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
There's a demon
Buffy,
body.
Like, take the foot, or did they leave the foot?
They grabbed that old lady's demon body because her whole body was still lying on the floor too. Mm-hmm. Like they just spent the whole. Do they have a team of people that come in, like John Wick cleanup style?
I was gonna say, did Buffy clean it up?
Had to. You think the workers walked in, saw an old lady with a half serpent hanging out of her head, and they were just like, nope. I am so confused how this place is running and how Manny, not an evil person, little dweebish, worked there for 10 years. A person with probably friends, family, a life maybe none of those things. But for some reason,
Manny didn't have a life.
But for some reason, he's just a missing person now.
Yeah, where could they have disposed of these bodies? Like Manny's foot was in there.
Are they
the
just
old
putting
lady's wig?
Are they just the whole lady's body is there? The whole body,
yeah,
the wig. Did they just bury her?
Buffy just chucked it in the dumpster.
Or did they just
That's
bury?
No man's land. You can fuck there. You can dump bodies there.
Hey, Willow, we need you to do one magic thing.
I keep waiting for that moment of like, okay, Willow, I know that we said no magic, but
yeah, just.
You think you could do one more?
Did they bury Manny's like severed leg in this body in Buffy's old grave? If they go to Buffy's old grave, is it all the demons that they moved?
There's like 200 demons in Buffy's grave. It's funny because like they don't really need to do anything when they kill a vampire, but these demons don't explode into dust.
Yeah,
like that one that snake head got juiced up into black and yellow goo.
Yeah, in the meat grinder. Like you gotta get like that's That's the
that's
whole
like if you
process
take a
to
shit
clean
in
that
a
up.
pool. Like that's
you
like
got to empty the whole. Yeah, it's just wild. I couldn't believe, and I just feel so bad how the Scoobies treat regular people that aren't their friends. Like Buffy, they secretly buried, but this guy Manny, they're like, This lady's like, Manny.
Weird. He had glasses.
Yeah, the manager's like, Manny disappeared. Fuck that guy. And Buffy's like, yeah, he disappeared.
Yeah.
But you're putting vegetables? You're using vegetables in the meat medley?
The lady's like, hold the phone. That's way more serious than anything.
And they explain what they're doing, and they're like processing vegetables and mixing it with beef tallow. Basically kind of like Beyond Meat and Impossible Meat, minus the like actual putting meat product in it. So it's like mixed with like beef fat and like processed vegetables. And they're making it, right? And they're making it into like this sludge or whatever, this patty, like whatever. And the company doesn't get like, oh, they're not using humans, so it's fine. This is false advertisement. This is just so wrong on so many levels.
Also, take away the fact that there is probably a snake-headed woman's body there, Manny's foot's there, the demon goo. Literally the day before, they found a human finger in there.
Yes.
Like, but Buffy just call the, I don't know, the health inspector, some shit.
The health inspector's probably a fucking, a rat turned human. A human rat or something. I don't know. Something
definitely.
Weird.
Everybody in government is a demon. And that's a fucking political message that Joss Whedon had to throw in. Oh, every politician's a demon.
It would be amazing if it was the cafeteria lady that tried to poison all the kids in school.
Yes, dude. Like, this old lady is on that lady's level.
Yeah.
Even though that lady wasn't a demon. Like, it was a good, fun.
that was a great reveal.
Yeah, and Xander just like about to eat the Jell-O looking at her.
But the company is so wrong for like saying that they have a double meat medley and it's all fucking veggies that are processed. And the company's messed up.
Yeah.
That's a messed up thing. You know, false advertising. And then Buffy, I thought she was going to be, hey, you know what? I'll keep this secret, but just keep me on the payroll. That's it. You can keep paying her a minimum wage salary and I just don't come in.
I'll come in. I'll punch in.
I won't even come in. No, you punch in for me, manager. I'm not. I don't have a car. I don't drive. I'm not coming over here. Yeah. If I call in and say I want to work a double shift, just get paid to not say the secret.
As soon as Buffy said it's a pretty valuable secret, right? I was like, ooh, nice. Extort him.
Yeah.
Nice. Good job. And then she begs for her job back. And I was like, what are you doing?
This is that messaging that they want to be like, hey, there's no free handouts. You got to work hard for everything you get. That's the message that they want to pass on. They're like, we need more. The people that are watching this show are at fast food restaurant worker level. So we're like, hey, be like Buffy, work at a fast food restaurant and ignore all your friends that say you're a loser for doing it.
Yeah, I was going to say, but also if you work at a fast food restaurant, you're a loser and you're better than that.
Yeah.
And you don't want to end up working here. But you should do hard work at a fast food restaurant. You got to have a hard day's work. And the whole Anya speech at the beginning of the episode.
I was really confused because the episode ends with Lorraine has a 5-year thing on her stuff thing as opposed to Manny's 10-year. And she's like, hey, Buffy, if you stick around, you could be just like this. And she points to the 5-year. And then Buffy has a look like, oh, God. And I'm like,
yeah,
you did this to yourself.
Yep.
You literally fought for Giles to get back pay and to be reinstated. But for yourself, you don't fight at all, Buffy. Like, you have them bent over a barrel. Just do it.
Yeah, man.
You have them pressed
so
against
crazy.
The restaurant wall. You can do this.
Pressed against the nice. It's so crazy. And you know what? The Angel episode
is all about
deals with it's all about money shit too.
Yeah.
Like the writers of these episodes must have been going through it at the time.
This is, what is it? 2001?
2002.
2002? Okay.
When was the strike or something?
No, the recession starts hitting a little like 2007, 8-ish, right?
Yeah. When was the writer strike?
2008, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe,
so
yeah. But there was
there
some, I mean, we're after 9/11 stuff, so there's like war.
Yeah. I was just like, what is the message of this episode? Like, hey, hard day's work. It's honorable.
Yeah.
But if you do it at a fast food restaurant, you're a fucking loser.
And there's a running theme of, oh my God, like with Xander marrying Anya. Oh, that's going to be the rest of my life. Willow, hey, is this going to be the rest of your life not using magic? Ugh. Mm-hmm. And then Buffy, fast food restaurant, 5 years, rest of your life. Ugh. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there's it's a running theme throughout it. I just can't believe she didn't take advantage of knowing that.
I know. How do you not extort?
And it makes me question how those restaurants are like, hey, we have secret ingredients all the time. Like, how? I'm like, why are people keeping these? Like, what do those NDAs look like?
I know, right? Like how often do they get sued?
Yeah. Like, I don't really care what spices are in the KFC spice. I'm not going to make it.
Yeah, I want to know what's in that French fry water.
What did you think grease burns were?
Dude,
grease fires?
Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
Yeah, you should definitely have someone light your pilot light, because I don't trust you with anything now. My God. You should have them come over to turn on the stove.
Anyway, that's the end of the episode. Next episode, Vance, is titled Dead Things.
All right. This is the easy one. This is the easy one. This is where we find out what Buffy is.
Yeah, what's going on with Buffy.
Yeah.
And Spike is going to relate to her like, hey, we're a couple of dead things.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, that's a wrap for Doublemeat Palace, everybody. Thank you so much for listening, sitting through all of our we went on some fucking insane tangents this time.
This episode should not be this long.
It absolutely shouldn't. But we thank you for sticking around for our whole breakdown of Doublemeat Palace. Join the Patreon, patreon.com/Boys Watching Buffy, where we do Boys Watching Angel, Boys Watching Movies, Joe's Fashion Report /Corner. Follow us on Instagram at Boys Watching Buffy. Email boyswatchingbuffy@gmail.com. If you want to get a shout out, 5-star Apple Podcast rating and review, or Spotify 5-star rating, just take a screenshot of it, send it to us. Thanks so much for making us your #1 podcast on your Spotify Wrapped. And if we weren't, step up your shit. We'll look forward to being #1 next year. That's what we'll say. Just, the assignment. Get on it. And anything else? Join Discord.
Yeah, join Discord, because there's going to be a lot of chatter about this episode.
Oh, I'm afraid of the Discord chatter up for this episode.
It's going to go on some random. It's going to go on more tangents than we went on, I'm sure.
I'm going to get fucking destroyed on Discord for this episode.
Rightfully so. So.
Yeah. And that's a wrap for Doublemeat Palace, everybody. Thanks for listening, and stay tuned next time for when we talk about dead things.
I'm Manny, the manager. It's not a joke. It's just my name.
Right. You mentioned that a couple of times when I filled out the application.
Seltzer Kings.
Podcasts.